So the array can handle a lot, pretty much everything that's very useful and complicated. You pretty much have to use the array. Okay. One example here is you want to find out, if I gave you a digit and you want to find out how often a digit showed up. For example, if you have this digit here, you want to find out what's the most frequent digit that shows up. Okay, in this case, it's a 6. And sometimes you want to do some statistics about, say, the giving, again, a sentence. You want to find out the most frequent showed up word, for example, word, okay? Which word they use the most often, say, in a paragraph or so, okay? So this is an example. This is every time we're doing the algorithms here, and because we want to do some analysis on the data, and then we are using the array. So for this case, this is more advanced algorithms, how we can use the array in very smart way. So again, this is the question. The question is, if I gave you a number, and then we want to find out how often, what's the most frequently number in this a given digit, and that's given in this number. Okay, so again, we are writing a static method, and we call most frequent digit, and giving me an integer number. And we know there are a total number of 10 digits. So why? And we can basically just create an array of size 10. And each of the arrays index, it's a digit. So this is a very smart way of using the array nature digit to do the counting. So how we do that? First of all, we do it using the while loop. We say, if this n is greater than 0, then first of all, we are doing module 10. When we do the module 10, what digit we get? We actually get the first digit. Okay, so for example, we actually get the last digit, right? So in this number, when we module 10, what's left here? It's a 7, right? What's here? It's actually 7. Okay, so we want to get off the 7. We want to see, okay, this is a digit 7. Okay, and so if this 7 shows up, and then we just increase the 7 count. Okay, we see, okay, 7 shows up, and then we'll just increase the count by 1, right? And so after that, we can reduce the digit. How we're going to reduce the digit by getting rid of the last digit is we divide by 10. When we divide by 10, right, and this becomes the whole number 0.7, because this is an integer, so the 0.7 will be dropped, and so we only have the all digit without 7. So that's why this is a very standard algorithms, how we get the last digit out and how we get rid of this digit. And then we're going to again and again here until the last time 6 divided by 10, it becomes a 0. And so we out of loop. Okay, we are out of loop. And so after we count the number of digit that shows up. So for example, when we first 7, count will say, okay, I see a 7. So in the 7th position, it will increase that number by 1. The next time they say 6, then in the 6th element, and then they will increase the count by 1. And then when this 2, and then in the 2nd position or index, and will increase the count by 1. Okay, so by the end of it, and then if you see 6 again, it's 1 here, and then there's increase from the previous day, previous one by 1, so it becomes 2, and so on and so forth. And so at the end of this for loop here, we will count every digits that showed up in this number and how many times they showed up. So in order to find the biggest one, then this is a loop again. We loop over every element and we figure out which one is the biggest number. So we found which count is the biggest number. We will return that index. So let's go back to the how to find the biggest number, how to find the smallest number. So you can see that we combine. When I say, when you ask me, do we just testing the array? I could say, yes, I'm just testing the array. But you can see the content that we've been used, the while loop, okay, the create some of the variables, and if statement, the for loops, it will all be used from the previous chapters. You cannot just say, I'm not testing the previous chapters. The more you learn is the more combination of the skills you have to apply here. Okay, so this is quite a tricky way, but it's a standard way every time you want to get some digit out, and that's the way we're using it. And this is using, and again, how we find the biggest number in the array. So it's a combination. Now, if I run this again, it will actually says number 6. So it says the frequency showed up is the digit number 6.